Huh. Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakthrough Moment podcast, where we interview successful entrepreneurs and investors and ask them what is their biggest breakthrough moment in their career that changed everything for them. And as they share their breakthroughs with us at home can have breakthroughs as well. Today's special guest is Pat Ness. You there, Pat?
I'm here. How's it going?
It's going
Great to
great.
connect,
I'm
Zach.
pumped for this.
Yeah, me
We've got a
too,
mutual
man.
friend, Luciana. She speaks very highly of you. So I'm excited to introduce you to everybody and learn all about you. So I'll give you a quick little intro, bro, and then we'll dive straight into things. So for those of you out there who don't know Pat, he is one of those entrepreneurs that's been living the real freedom lifestyle for over a decade, about 14 years now, and helping other people do the same. He's known as the web ninja. And so he's a full stack tech genius. He has a low ticket offering for like web hosting, helping people build websites. And then he works with like super high ticket companies and influencers, helping them scale online. And his real vision and mission is around helping other people, help people live the freedom lifestyle the real way, not like some of these fake companies and people online doing it. So I'm really excited to interview you, Pat. This has been about a month or so in the making. So let's jump into it, man. What has been the biggest breakthrough moment in your career thus far?
I want to quickly jump in here just before Pat reveals his breakthrough moment. He actually did something quite unscripted at the end of this podcast, and I want to make sure you guys don't miss out on it. So he actually shares his screen and goes through a full wireframe, a specific step-by-step process and strategy. If you're wanting to launch ads for the first time, it's to do with a quiz funnel, it's to do with nurture sequences, it's to do with automations. So make sure if you want to check that out, stick around to the end.
Well, I would definitely say way back in 2012, I was doing a lot of service stuff, logos and business cards and things that were like a lot of work for a little bit of money. And I was like, I'm never gonna like escape this laptop or be free. And then one day I came across a fitness influencer and we decided to do a big launch, right? A big launch. And this is like before Instagram. So we're talking before meta ads, things like that. So this person came to me and wanted to do a big launch for an online program. And I partnered 50-50 with them. And we did this big launch. And in 3 days, we did over 170,000 in sales, right? And for me, that was the first time that was like, oh my God, like a huge amount of money kind of hit my bank account, right? And that was the beginning of like, okay, bye bye all the stupid things I don't want to do anymore, and then hello, new way of making money online. And so it was definitely when that big chunk of money hit the bank is when everything started, and the whole energy and the whole vision changed for my whole life. Never mind just business, right? So it opened up so many doors. I got to pay off debts. I paid off people I owed money. Everything was just like boom, fixed. You know. So that was definitely the big, big breakthrough, and I was like, "Man, I need to help a lot of other people get this big chunk and change their life?" So that was definitely the pivotal moment in my career.
Sure. I can imagine that would have been very life changing. So, what was going through your mind, leading up to that moment? You said you had some debt and you kind of reset yourself, so to speak. Like, what were you going through? And then, like, what advice do you have for other entrepreneurs out there who might be in a similar kind of space at the moment?
You know what? It was like I had a lot of projects going on and there was too many things happening and I had a giant to-do list and like it was just overwhelmed, especially nowadays everyone's overwhelmed with all these things to do, like lists that they're never going to finish. Like I'm sure as an entrepreneur you have that list that just never ends, that's in perpetuity going on forever. And yeah, that moment was pivotal because that was when that list disappeared. And I think that is kind of what everyone needs to experience. Like I'm now at a zero inbox. It's been 6, 7, 8 years. I've pretty much have zero inbox by the end of the night every day. No work stacks. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So it's nice to be able to help people on that journey and to be able to focus in on one thing. So I would tell people like focus in on the one big money maker, the one funnel that can kind of get you that big chunk of money or get you going. A lot of people try something, it doesn't really work, and then they move on to the next thing. Especially a lot of clients I work with in fitness, that's kind of the main niche. They have a program, sometimes they sell it, it doesn't do well, they want to make a new program. But I'm keen on like, no, let's sell this first one first. Let's get a ton of sales coming before we move on to more programs and products and stuff. Let's just really get a nice evergreen flow of cold leads coming in, selling this product before we move on to building out other things. So I would definitely say to people like lock in on one big moneymaker. You know, a lot of people have a lot of information and experience in whatever niche they're in, and they need to create a nice experience for people that's automated. So from day one, you know, you got to build those systems that bring people into your world. You educate them, guide them, and you start helping them make a change. And then from there, you can start introducing other products and things like that to increase the lifetime value of each person that comes into your world, right? But initially, you always want to try to get as much money as you can up front and just be overzealous with how much you help them and the resources that you give to them. Like I've seen a lot of people put together little ebooks and they're kind of cheesy and they're kind of half-assed put together. Now they're put together with AI. You really need to go like over the top with what you're giving them initially in order to impress people. And your freebie should actually change their life and start helping them make a difference in their life or business, whatever it is, if you're going to be planning to make any kind of money, right? So that's definitely what I would say is lock in on one funnel, one path, and create an amazing experience for people to learn all your information.
It's really great that you say this because this is like a bit of a theme amongst not
Mhm.
just the other podcast guests, but also just in my own business and then also, helping other people with their business. I think there's many reasons that stop people from focusing in on one funnel. But what do you think is the main reason that's stopping people really going all in? You mentioned obviously like moving on to the next thing, but like how can we really like if there's one thing people get out of today is like they focus in on that one funnel, how can we really set them up for success, so to speak? What do they need to see, believe, focus on to make sure that they keep following through on that one funnel?
Real quick, before we continue, a brief message from today's sponsor. If you're an entrepreneur wanting to grow your personal brand, authority, and business through podcasting, then check out findapodcast.io. As you know, the biggest entrepreneurs in the world, they book these massive podcast tours before a big product launch or an event or book because podcasts build trust faster than anything else online today. So it's findapodcast.io. It helps you connect with a specific podcast in your niche. It writes the pitch, it follows up in this easy CRM. It truly does save time. So you just show up, do the podcast, and your business grows. If you're curious to learn more, book in a demo at findapodcast.io. Now, let's get back to the episode.
I think the belief is that they need to keep going and not stop. Like a lot of people, again, they might attempt to post organically on socials for a week or two or give it a month and they didn't really figure out how to make sales and then they give up or they slow down or they stop putting in effort, right? You need to put in a daily effort. Once you launch, you need to, it's go time, you know? Like once you deploy, it's like, don't stop. Set an hour a day on your schedule. Like put it in your schedule every day, 1 hour. I'm going to get traffic to my funnel, you know, and just do, traffic driving activities in that hour or whatever it is. Maybe you're finding affiliates. Maybe you're reaching out to people, you know, that have a big list or a big following, and maybe you want to try a collaboration, but at least give it momentum daily and don't ever stop the momentum. And the other thing is a lot of people don't have the belief that what they built will actually work. You know, some people build something and they're like, "Oh, I don't know if this is actually going to work," you know. You have to have the belief that the thing you built is going to work. And then once you have that belief and once you're putting in that daily effort, you know, it's you're gonna get there, whether it takes you a month or 2 or 3 or 6, you know? Everyone puts in different efforts and everyone tries different things and everyone has different connections. So depending on your connections and your effort and mainly nowadays it's how much money do you have to run for ads, you know, that ads can like just skyrocket you like pretty quick. But again, a lot of people don't have 300, 400, 500,000 bucks a month to spend on ads. So they got to do it the organic, guerrilla marketing way, like hustle, hustle, hustle. And I think that's kind of what stops a lot of people from moving forward is because they get tired of the hustle. You know, we're all kind of ADHD, kind of distracted, and it's hard to just sit there and focus. But yeah, you got to figure out that way to focus and get in the zone. For me, it's the morning. I wake up early, water, coffee, work, zone, and as long as I can, because once my focus breaks, once you start eating, once the day comes and people are calling you and things are start happening, you get a lot more distracted. So morning is a good time to just really lock in and some people nighttime, it's their lock-in, post 11, no one's calling you, messaging you. That's your time. You could just like really focus in. So For me though, morning is like my energy is like I'm bouncing off walls. At night, I'm a little more dozy. So, I used to say, oh, I'm a night owl. I like to work at night until I switched to mornings, you know? And then I was like, I'm definitely a morning person.
You just touched upon so many little keys in like such a short period of time. I just kind of reflect for people as well as like you were mentioning, not just giving a lot of value up front and like charging up front, but also like just the morning routine, whether it's like shifting from a night out, because a lot of entrepreneurs will like try and squeeze everything at night.
Hmm.
Not to say that's the worst way, but I think it's long term, it can burn people out, whether it's like starting in the morning, pushing things aside like as long as you can before eating, because it's interesting. I just completed like a 7-day fast, and I
Nice.
was, yes, I had a lower energy, but my focus and my mental clarity was more than when I eat food and drink
Hmm.
coffee and have normal lifestyle. And it's kind of like I was thinking of changing the word just like eating to just slow, instead of fast. It's I'm about to slow down now and eat some food because there's a big impact on my body if I eat too much. So
Hmm.
obviously finding that right spot for someone's calorie intake and stuff is important. But
100%.
you mentioned ads as well. You mentioned finding affiliates. You mentioned, yeah, I guess like really going in the very beginning to get that I guess as much action as possible in the start of the day. But if you were to say hypothetically start again, or with what you knew, start your journey again with all the things you know about business, what would you do different if you were to start again?
Ooh, what would I do different? Okay. I would focus strictly on 100% digital products that you can like fully automate, that doesn't require, customer support, a virtual assistant, like creating assets where there's not one single manual task to do per order, right? Because say you do a service-based business, every time someone books a call, you got to show up for a call. If they book a service that you got to manually do, it's very hard to scale, right? Like there's only so much time you can do, and there's only so much attention you have throughout a day to fulfill how many purchases you have, right? Whereas when you go full digital, you could just scale to the moon, right? And now with AI agents, there's AI customer support. AI can reply to people's emails, their DMs. Like you could just be a one man machine and make tons of money, whether that's 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. There's no top. There's no like there's no end to how much you can scale when you have a fully automated system. So if I could go back, I would only focus on products that can be 100% fully automated and stop wasting time on consulting one-on-one and stuff like that.
Interesting. How would
So
someone find that product, that digital product within themselves? Or would you find another product that's in alignment, but someone else build it?
well, one of the best ways, like everyone's in a different niche. So depending on your niche, I would do research on big influencers in your niche and see what they're selling. I would go into the affiliate marketplaces, like Commission Junction, Share Sale, all the big ones out there. There's a whole bunch of them. I won't name them all, but you can see what kind of products are being sold in there and which ones are the most popular. Because if they're popular, don't worry about competition. A lot of people think, again, I help a lot of fitness people and they always think, oh, there's a million fitness people selling programs. But I'm like, yeah, but there's only one of you with your knowledge and you teaching your niche, right? There's lots of space for everybody to make money. So if you're out there thinking, oh, I don't want to do this because there's so much competition, don't worry. There's a lot of space for everyone to take a piece. You just got to find the actual products that people are looking for and what they need. A lot of people come to me and they're like, oh, I have an idea. No one's ever done it. And I'm like, ooh, that might be a bad idea because the market hasn't really showed interest in this new thing that doesn't exist. I'm more of a big fan of pick things that like are very popular, and join the competition and sell something similar because that's what people are looking for. A lot of those companies that are killing it, they've done the research, they know what works, they've done the testing, they've spent hundreds of thousands, millions in ads. They know what works, and that's the product that they put into the affiliate world because they know it converts. You don't have a lot of affiliate sales if your product isn't converting, right? So when you go to those top guys, like if you choose an affiliate product and you're like, oh, this guy makes a few affiliate sales, probably not a good thing to model your product after because there's no demand, right? So it's like you want to go after the monopoly and take your little piece of the big pie, versus trying to create a pie.
For sure. Don't recreate the wheel, hey? That's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
work. A lot
yeah,
of work. So what you're
yeah.
saying is find a product or build a product based on your skill set. And if someone doesn't have ads, they don't have the budget for ads right now, how would you recommend people start to find their first customers or just start to get that little bit of traction? Do you have any strategies that are maybe non-paid?
Yeah, so the first thing, of course, is like if you create like a course, a product or something, and like no one's kind of done it before, I always recommend giving it to your close friends and people close to you for free. Just say, hey, are you willing to kind of consume this and give me some feedback? Because you want to get feedback and you want to get some testimonials in. You want to be able to show the proof that your thing works. And if you don't go through that process, you're not giving the people exactly what they want. Like based on feedback, you can add all the things that those people are going to say, oh, it'd be nice if you had this, it'd be nice if you had that. And then you can add it before you go to market to the masses, right? So for example, a lot of my fitness people, some people like to consume a follow along video. They just want to hit play, watch a video, work out for 30 minutes, follow along. Some people just want to see what's the workout because they know how to do all the moves, so they just want to quickly see the workout. Some people want to print out something that shows the workout. Some people want to see GIFs, just a quick little here's how you do this workout if you don't want to do the follow along. So when we create like a fitness session, we have all those options for people, right? Because we know that everybody either wants to print, follow along, or just see what the workout is, right? So now, because at the beginning, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I wish you had this. I wish you had that." And now, when I look at customer support inquiries, it's like nobody's asking for anything else because we provided all of it for them, right? So now, when we push to matches, if we again reach out to an affiliate, we start to get traffic from somewhere, we know that those people are going to be like, wow, this course is great. It has everything. It has what I want. It has all the things that anyone's going to want. But you can't get to that point unless you have a lot of people go through your program to get the feedback, right? But I would definitely say, utilize AI, utilize AI bots, try to be in as many communities as you can online and just comment away. You got to do, again, without money, you got to hustle. You got to do the guerrilla marketing, be active on live calls and communities that have a lot of people in your niche, comment in a lot of Facebook groups and places where, offer help. If you're a fitness person, go into a bunch of fitness groups and start commenting, "Hey, you can do this. Hey, you gotta, take creatine because da 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 da." You be helpful all over the place because down the road, like that content is gonna live forever. So as people are searching things, finding groups and looking up resources, like, damn, your comment and they're gonna start seeing you everywhere, right? It gives you a little more omnipresence. And the only way to do that without ads is hustle. You gotta get in there and kind of manually do it. So once you go through your organic people and you get some people through, first you market to your current audience, right? But then what happens with a lot of people is you get to a point where you're marketing just to the same people over and over and over. So say you have 10,000 followers on Instagram, you do this big launch, you're trying to sell a course, you reached all 10,000 people, nobody's buying anything anymore. Where do new people come from that are going to buy your course, right? So that's where you gotta kinda start reaching into other avenues beyond your audience, but start there. Start with what you can, and then go after affiliates, people in your niche that have a big following that you think might like your thing, and see if you could work with that person to kinda get them to link you, whether it's a collaboration or you pay them a little bit of money or something. Like, ideally, ads is just the way to go. If you even have, like, $2 a day, right, $60 a month, like, just start getting them going. Because organic is kinda dead these days. It's extremely hard unless you're controversial, unless you're going after, like, virality and creating a lot of amazing content. It's very difficult to organically grow these days. When you get cold lead ads going, I'll give you a crazy strategy that works really well for people. So, say a lot of people already have a lot of amazing tips and golden nuggets and posts and things up on their Instagram, right? So, what you could do is go into your ads manager and create a campaign for cold audience. So, you could choose those existing posts that have some engagement and that are awesome information and target your ideal audience. And you can exclude people that follow you and people that engage with you so that way your content is constantly going to new eyeballs, and as they engage with you, they stop seeing those ads. So you could scale and continuously bring in new eyeballs And as those cold leads engage with the posts, they comment, they like it, those numbers build up on the post on your Instagram. So I have some clients, they get, 1, 2,000 views, then all of a sudden you'll see a video, it's like 77,000 views. And it's like, it's an ad and it's working and it just keeps running and the engagement and views keep building on it as it runs as an ad. Right. So it's a great way to engage new people because it's not like a sales ad. It's not like, hey, go sign up for my thing, go buy my thing. It's like, hey, look at this great piece of information. There's more on my page. And then once they start engaging with you, then can get hit with retargeting ads that push them to your product or your lead generation stuff, right? But it's getting really tough these days to do cold lead ads straight to like sign up for my thing, you know? So you can still try a campaign like that, but this strategy where it's more organic content as ads it has been working for many, many years. And I'd imagine it'll continue to work in time.
That's really interesting, Pat. So what you're saying, did you say, so create a piece of content, say Instagram, that's value, is a value post?
Yeah.
That's then targeting, who is it? You say targeting your competition's followers and their organic reach or the organic interaction. Is that what you said? Or can you just rehack on that?
Not really to do with competition. So imagine this, say you're a coach, right? You want to help entrepreneurs grow. So you do a post up on your Instagram, maybe like, top 10 things every entrepreneur should do to grow their business. And then that post, you get some engagement. People love that post. That would be a good post to turn into an ad. So as the ad runs to cold leads, meaning like people that don't follow you, people that haven't engaged with you, they've never heard of you before, they're going to see that post in their feed, but it's going to show all the social proof. It's going to show all the comments and the likes, and that builds up and builds up as the ad's running. So you might have seen some of the big marketers like, Tony Robbins does this, Billy Jean, some of those guys. When they run ads, some of their posts will have like 280,000 likes, 27,000 comments, and that's because they're spending hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on that one post to run it as an ad to reach more people. And if the data is saying, hey, you're spending $1 making 5, you can just scale to the moon, until the ads stop working. And sometimes the ads can run a month, 2, 3. I have ads for some clients that run years and they don't stop because they're always reaching cold leads and it excludes the people that engage, right? So people aren't seeing the same ad over and over and over and over. It's always going to new people.
You mentioned at the start here, looking at like getting one strategy right, focusing on that one funnel. So is that what you're saying is like, if someone does have some money, whether it's $2 a day or $5, whatever it is, get a post that builds value, get organic eyeballs with social proof commenting. And like, once that's working, then what, double the ad spend, triple the ad spend and
Exactly.
funnel. Is that right? Is that what you mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Because those posts, like you could put a call to action on them to say, read this blog or go to my lead gen thing, right? But a lot of people also, when they see the ad, will click on your profile and follow you. So Instagram doesn't give you a way to run an ad to get Instagram followers, right? But this is a strategy where your following starts growing faster just for the sake of getting in front of more eyeballs.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Do you recommend the same strategy, you mentioned before in terms of like organic, and it's kind of tricky organic wise to focus on one strategy like Facebook groups or like Reddit or I don't know, Twitter or something? Like once you find a customer the organic way, should you just focus on that one funnel? Or if it's organic because of how kind of dead you said it is, to focus on more funnels or for more kind of streams?
Like I'm a fan of one funnel and being the specialist in something. For example, I always use this as an example. Say you had like a serious problem with your eye, right? Would you rather go see the general doctor or an eye specialist? Do you know what I mean? Because you're more confident right out the gate just because of their title that they're going to fix your eye problem. So it's the same thing with business. Like a lot of people in fitness, they're like, "Oh, I want to help, all women. I want to help women lose weight, get healthy, build muscle." But I'm like, why not be the like build muscle person for people that are ectomorph, that have like lean physique, that have trouble building muscle, and that's it. So that way, all your posts, all your content, all your blogs, everything is speaking to that one individual, and people that start following you are like, wow, this is my coach because she's so specific towards me and who I am and what I need. Versus when you're general, there might be a lot of posts that don't resonate with that person. Like if she starts doing fat loss posts, that person that doesn't have 5 pounds of fat on them is going to be like, well, this isn't relevant to me. So the more relevant you are to that one specific path, I think the better. And then once you learn marketing and you understand how it works and you have some success, then you can kind of start to spread out and open it up. But if you don't gain the skills to be able to sell one funnel, you're not going to be able to go sell a whole bunch of different things to a bunch of different people.
Smart. This is great. Pat, as you know, AI is changing the world. How is AI changing your industry, and where do you think this is going? Are you optimistic or pessimistic with AI?
I'm super optimistic. I think we have a short window now before AGI, artificial general intelligence, comes out, because whoever's building an online business, AGI is going to turn anybody, even if they don't have expertise, into an expert. So what AGI is going to be is, say again, let's use the fitness thing as an example. If you're a fitness trainer, AGI will now go build your entire business for you. It'll run your ads, it'll build your social content, build your programs. Like, you don't have to do anything, right? That's what AGI is. And that's coming soon, they say, within the next year or two. So right now, while we still have this opportunity, like, it's the best time to start a business, use AI, go hard, make that money. Because I really don't know what's going to happen with AGI, but I think I'm okay, because I think WordPress is gonna live on forever. All these build your own AI sites, do it AI. It's like you don't even own your own data. It could just disappear one day. Sometimes you get stuck if you're like, oh, I want to do this, but the AI site you built, it doesn't allow you to do that. There's always a limitation, I find, with those builders, where you get to a point where you start have to, like, getting Kajabi, and then you need high level, and then you need this software. Whereas WordPress, you could build literally anything and everything you want in one site, and since it's open source software, you own it. You could build a site, you could export it offline, you own it forever. You can clone it, you could build multiple sites. With AI, I think it's going to get expensive, and who knows with the war, who knows if AI is going to exist and continue on. They're attacking all the infrastructure, all the data centers and stuff. So who knows, right? But yeah, having a WordPress site is beautiful, because again, you own your data, you own your content, and it's absolutely unlimited options as to what you want to build into your WordPress site. You could have courses, membership, e-com store, event calendar, like you could build everything in there, right? AI, again, if you're not too techy, you don't know how to prompt, you don't know what you're doing, it's still going to be tricky for people that aren't tech savvy to get into it.
Interesting. And how are you utilizing AI at the moment? Any hacks? Any little tips?
Yeah, so the main thing I noticed building, like, I've built probably 1,000 websites. Like, if you see my portfolio, I have a lot of clients, millions of followers. So people at the level of like millions of followers, or people starting out, they all have the same problem, which is creating content, writing emails, doing the work, right? So AI definitely changed my business in the sense that it's made it faster and easier to get businesses online and going, because now they have AI to write everything. That was the main thing. Everyone back in the day, we used to hire copywriters, and I remember paying a copywriter once $10,000 to write a sales page for me, and now it's just like AI does it in 30 seconds, and and some people hate AI. They're like, oh, AI doesn't really convert, but in my experience, like, you always got to split test everything. So I always write my initial build with all the AI stuff, and then if someone's like, I don't like that, I think this is going to work, cool, let's split test it, and let's let the data tell us if the AI page works or your actual manually written copywriting page works, right? So without testing, there's no way to know. Sometimes, like with my clients, like a landing page or an ad that we think is stupid is the highest converting, ad or page, and it's like, oh shit, that one's working way better, and you'd never expect it. So it's really hit or miss. You got to test. Yeah.
What I'm really curious about is, a lot of the time, just in life, in terms of the results that we experience, good or bad, it's a result of our mindset. And so I'm curious, working with so many people at different levels, what is the difference between someone who's maybe starting out or just getting their business going or just getting by, to then jumping into the different mindset of scaling and taking their business to doubling it or 10xing their business in terms of revenue and things like that. Have you seen any different ways of seeing the world or business, or like, yeah, I think at the end of the day, I just want to know, like, do you see that there's a recipe or a mindset that the successful people have that, say, beginners don't?
Well, I touched on this a little earlier. I think it's mainly about choosing a fully digital product, like choosing something that you can scale. Because a lot of people start with like consulting or a service, or something like that. And again, if you start with that, all your energy and all the automations, everything you build is going to go towards that. Right. So the sooner you come to the realization that, wow, I just want to be free, let my ads run and, make money and do less work, that's when I think the mindset shifts, because people that do the consulting and services, they get into this like, oh my God, I'm going to work forever. How am I ever going to, if I stop working or if something happens to me, where's the money going to come from? Right. So the sooner you get into the mindset of like, I need to build courses, digital assets, things that I could sell, an experience I could build and go sell to a million people. That's the best. So you want to build one amazing thing, go sell it to a million people instead of continuously building things and trying to sell it to like a whole bunch of different people. You know what I mean? It's like software. That's why I love the web hosting, because I built one platform. I can have a million people join my web hosting, and it's like, we have customer support, but beyond that, everything's automated, right? There's no service to provide, no consulting, no time, no manual click we need to do for each person that signs up. It all deploys and automatically. If people don't pay, their site gets suspended. As soon as they pay, it automatically gets unsuspended. Like, there's systems that basically run everything automatically. So again, the sooner you start to get into the mindset of like, I want to build fully automated products, the better.
Super cool. Super cool. It's a great mindset to get into. Start with the end in mind, figure out early on that time is our most valuable asset, and build a
Yeah.
business around that. Hey, so,
Mm.
what's really interesting in terms of building something that's totally automated, even completely faceless or hands free, we've got now UGC created, AI created
Yeah.
UGC, user generated content avatars, people that, well, I guess AI profiles and AI influencers and things like this. Man, isn't that
Yeah.
scary? Or
Scary.
is that
Yeah. That's
exciting?
great.
Like, it's I don't know if it's like not I don't know if it's like hyped up with the ads that I see, but if how real it is now is where it's at. And I don't know, you've probably seen the spaghetti eating Will Smith video
Yeah.
and how that's
Yeah.
progressed
Yeah.
over the last few years and where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Like even like this podcast, people are going to be like, well, is it real? Is it not? How do you think we're
Right?
going to
I'm
maintain the
real. Hey, look,
humanness? Yeah, yeah,
this is my room.
I'm real. How do you think we're going to maintain the humanness of business and online?
You know what? I think it comes down to community and doing a lot of live streaming. I think live streaming and doing things live is going to be the way. And people in the retreat space, people that have already built like big communities that are doing like retreats and in-person events. I think that's going to be good enough to keep the real life kind of energy there. But I still think the way to make money and sell is going to be via information, like selling information, you know? So people that wanna learn how to do things, like, if you can fast track them from going in a 6-week course into, like, here's my 1 day, watch all the videos and you'll fully understand it, you know? If you can help someone get to point A to point B faster and easier, that will always, I think, live on, whether it's an in-person, there's human touch, or if it's just digital and here's the information that you can access anytime. I think that will always live on. But yeah, like when you go live and you have a community, and that's going to be kind of where people engage with humans still.
Really good reminder. I don't see enough live streams these days. I guess maybe they're on different platforms, but that's cool. So Pat, how can people reach out to you? Who listen like from those that are listening right now, who should reach out to you? What's the problem you solve? And what are the products or services that you offer?
Well,
Well,
I'm so one-on-one again. I'm pretty limited on doing one-on-one help. I typically only help big influencers, people that have maybe hundreds of thousands or millions of followers that have all their products built and they want to build full systems, a website and all the automations and get ads going. I have the power to kind of 1, 2, 3 days kind of build everything. I could rebuild the whole website, all the automations, CRM, and get your ads going. So because I'm full stack, I don't have to outsource anything. But for any beginners, people that want to learn more about automations, how to make money online, or they're ready to start their business, my web hosting company, which is automatewp.com, WP for WordPress, that's the place they can go kind of learn a little more, get a server, get their site started, and that's like low cost. So for people that don't really have money, I created Automate WP specifically for people that have, low budget that want to get started in the game. So yeah, I have light speed servers, which are the best servers you can get for WordPress. A lot of people they're, higher priced, but I priced it at $15 a month, 1 5. Just so people can spend more money on things they need to do to get the business started versus the software, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
those
guys.
are
Yeah,
kind of
reach out to Pat somewhere around this video. Get in touch with him. Last question, Pat, before we wrap this things up, is if you were to challenge the audience, what challenge would you like to impart today, this week, this month, this year, that's going to help them have a breakthrough? At the end of the day, I think everyone's looking for a breakthrough in their own life, but what do you think is the most impactful challenge that's going to help them have that next breakthrough?
Definitely, and I never talked about this yet, so this is a great finishing question. Is everyone I imagine that's going to be listening to this already has some kind of business going or they know they're interested, right? I would tell everyone to focus on collecting data. So instead of doing simple like lead generation things, I would say focus on maybe building some kind of onboarding quiz or survey to bring people into their world because that allows you to collect more data to email and guide people more specifically to who they are. So, for example, again, I'll use the fitness thing just because I've been talking about it. If someone comes into your world, you wanna instead of give me your name, email, here's my free workout program, you wanna say, okay, who are you? Are you beginner, intermediate, advanced? Do you want to work out at home or the gym? Are you vegan? Are you vegetarian? Do you eat meat? So as people answer these questions and then give you their email, it gives them the vibe that you're there specifically to help them based on what they just answered versus, hey, everyone gets the same thing, right? So a mom who's a vegan that wants to train at home, we're not going to be like, hey, get my chicken recipe book and my gym training program, right? So we're going to be like, hey, get the at-home vegan program for beginners, so it allows you to kind of collect data that goes into your CRM where it allows you to use AI now to message people specifically based on their answers. So for example, I use Go High Level and everyone can have a very unique email. So gone are the days I think of give me your name, email, everyone goes on the same automation. You have to, based on their answers, speak to everyone a little bit differently based on their pain points and where they want to go in order to sell them your thing. So I would say focus on learning a little more about data collection and automations. And again, of course, focusing on fully digital products that you can scale and get more freedom.
Mind blown. Like
Yeah.
that is wild. Hey, personalization. I've said this for a long time. My background's health and wellness. The
Mhm.
future of health and wellness is personalization with testing and knowing exactly what works. Bio individuality is what I learned with my nutrition study is that everyone's different. What works for me might not work for you. What works for
Yeah.
you might not work for me. And it's about tailoring that strategy. And so the same thing is in business now. If we get the right information, you can tailor an email from a quiz. Are you kidding me? That is
Yeah.
awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big game changer. Big game changer.
That's so good. Well, any final comments before we wrap things up? We've covered a lot here, Pat. You've given some pearls of wisdom. This is super exciting. And yeah, any final comments though?
My final comment for people is just like, we're all raised different and we all have different beliefs and we're all thinking like, oh, we have a very specific path that we're all supposed to follow in life. But I personally think that everybody these days just wants freedom. Everyone would love to just not work and just roam the earth and do whatever they want, right? And building an online business like this, like when you make money, when you have money, life's way different. I always tell people this, like money solves most of people's problems. Like, look at me. I'm in Canada right now visiting my mom because she was sick and I had to take care of her. Well, guess what? I was in Colombia. Boom. I booked a flight, came home for 4 weeks, taking care of her, going to Dominican next week. And I have the freedom and the money to just hop on a flight, come home for 4 weeks. I don't have to be in Colombia. I don't have to be here. I can do anything I want anytime, you know? I have this thing, I don't know if you can see it, this tattoo called Freedom Life. And it's basically just about like doing what you want, where you want, with who you want, as much as you want, you know? And when you put your mindset to achieving that goal of automated income and freedom, right? Life's a beautiful thing. You can just sleep in, wake up, do anything you want every day, you know? So go after it. Get the plan in motion.
That whole thing. So Pat, just before we wrap up, you've just shared some pearls of wisdom, but like, where did you learn that? You know, as you said, that we all come from different backgrounds. We've got different beliefs based on different experiences. I'm from Australia. You're from Canada. Like, you know, we see the world similarly and we see it differently, but like, where did you find or get that mindset from? Do you have entrepreneurial family or father or family members,
You know
or
what?
through mentors?
You know what? Two things. One, I got to give it to Tim Ferriss for the 4 Hour Work Week. That book was like oh wow, I don't have to go get a job and do this and do that. I could just be free and roam the earth and, work very little. And then two, I would have to say Magic Mushroom Journeys. I started eating mushrooms when I was 18, like 25 years ago. I'm 43 now. And ever since then, I knew I wanted a life of freedom and that the whole, pension and working and taxes and I like, I knew that that was not the way to go. So, like, I'm a non-resident of Canada, so I don't pay tax legally. I literally am just like a world homeless nomad. I just roam the earth, and I don't have like a place I have to pay taxes to, and I'm just doing whatever, man. So yeah, mushrooms and the 4 Hour Work Week.
I love that book. I remember reading that book, and it was one of those books that I just couldn't put down. It was like next page, next page, next page.
Yeah,
And I love his other books as well, Tools of Titans and The 4 Hour Chef and all that type of thing. Those books
yeah.
definitely changed my life. His podcast is really good too. And Magic Mushrooms, there's been some times where there were some out of this world experiences that, yeah, life has never been the same again. And just this level of, and you're not the only guest to have said that in terms of a breakthrough. One of my first podcast guests was like, yeah, Magic Mushrooms changed my ego. It changed my whole vision. I started
Mhm.
treating people differently. I started seeing the world differently, investing in more humanitarian projects, like making more money, like it can really shift us, the power of psychedelics. And so, yeah, I'm glad you say that. And like, a lot of people talk about this freedom lifestyle, but you've actually got it tattooed on yourself.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
actually living it. And then you're
yeah.
actually out of the so-called system in what you do. So I'm excited to meet you, man, and continue to pick your brains. I'm sure there's a lot you can't share online, but yeah, this is very cool.
Yeah, man. And there's a yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. And if we ever do a part two down the road, I got a lot more. I don't know if we can do a share screen one day, but I could show you some real crazy ninja stuff. But it's hard to explain without a visual, So if the people want it, maybe I could do a little video for you, or we could jump on another one. But kind of drawing out, kind of like I don't know if you can see. Let's see, like on my whiteboard wall there. I draw a lot of like wireframes and stuff that explain how like all the automations work. And I think that's pretty key to, having people have that deeper understanding of how the systems work. So, and once they gain that understanding, then they get a little more excited and they build that passion because they're like, oh my God, I could see it. But if someone can't see it, they think they're in this never ending work mode. So it's definitely a game changer when you can get deep into like drawing out wireframes and explaining it that way.
I'm curious, is there a wireframe you could quickly draw us now, or we're gonna have to wait?
Yeah, yeah, I got time. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, let's do it. It's only like maybe say 10 minutes max. I'll explain like the basic one that every business needs, and then it gets way more beyond that. But I could show definitely.
I
Let's
thought, yeah,
see.
what better time but now? So, all right. I said this
Yeah.
to the guys here because I live in this house and there's, we're entrepreneurs and sales closers and
Mhm.
we're doing like weekly masterminds and weekly wellness events and stuff. And there's just all these amazing new people coming every week or every 2 weeks to this location because it's quite a holiday touristy slash kind of like disconnect from society place. And I'm
Mhm.
like, we need more whiteboards. Every room of this
Yes,
house needs whiteboards because like every
right?
conversation I get into is just brainstorm, brainstorm.
Yeah. Hey, that's why I
So
got the whiteboard wall. That's like it's like a wallpaper that you put on the whole wall and you can scribble over the whole wall.
all right. So take us into your mindset, Pat. What are we doing and why is this important?
Okay, so this here is kind of like the wireframe of all online businesses. It's like what you basically need to know in order to fully automate everything. And we're going to get into how ads work and everything too. So we talked about the quiz leads and why you need that. And then this is stuff you sell, right? So this could be like a course, a download, whatever it is, whatever it is. So we got these pages. So these all represent pages, right? So this is the main four things you need. Your homepage, which has a link to the stuff you sell, has a link to your blog. I think blogs is one of the most important things you could build. And then you always have a link to your quiz. So when it comes into the automations, this is where you get the Instagram cold audience going. So, and this is typically 80% of your ad budget. You want the cold leads going, right? And then over here, you have your CRM, where again, based on the quiz, they're going to get different emails based on their answers. So again, every entrepreneur is different. You might have, beginners, intermediate, advanced, or however you choose to separate these emails. And then over here, we have the retargeting. So this is going to be retargeting. So what happens is you have these ads going. You also send traffic from wherever. So YouTube, Instagram, you're sending everyone there. And I'm a big fan of also running ads like, to blogs because they're educational. And blogs always have a link over here. Blogs have a link to the thing you're selling. And then these emails should either link to blogs, they should either link to the thing you're selling. And if they don't buy, they end up going on the retargeting audience that will get them to go buy the thing, right? So this here is like your main basic thing that you want to build and set up out the gate. So before you start growing social media, before you start doing anything, at least have this in place, right? Because this is the mother hub of all your automations. Once you have the software, your CRM, your website set up, and this is all connected, you can start getting a little more advanced and doing more things, adding more different types of lead generation things. But this here is the move. Do you have any questions about this, or is this pretty straightforward?
Wow, that's very straightforward. That is gold. Everyone should take a screenshot of that. That is gold.
Yeah, and this is like again, and one other important thing, and this is a huge one, is after people go through these little emails, usually it's about 5 emails max where you try to sell them something based on their answers, right? And then after that, they should all go to the Evergreen email list. Evergreen email list is emails that are awesome educational content that go on forever. So you can have like, as many Evergreen emails you have. So if I take this quiz today, I get this email day 1, the next one day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and then it could be like day 6, day 10, day 15. You can space these out. But the point is you always want an evergreen list educating and guiding people and offering more guidance, like you don't want to stop and just disappear. So, and then some of these emails I like to do a little, this is another little ninja hack that you could do automation. So say you want to give them an offer like, hey, 80% off my thing today. You can send them to a landing page. And what happens is you can pause this evergreen email, put them on a little campaign to try to sell this thing if they click because they showed interest. And if they don't buy, you just send them right back to the evergreen list and then the evergreen emails keep going. Right. So within this long evergreen list, every 10 emails or so, you have to have some kind of crazy offer, and then you can kind of throw those in the mix. But once you have this, like some of my clients, we have over 300 emails in the evergreen. So if you sign up for her quiz, you're hearing from her for like 2 years, whether she does any work or not, because we put in the effort to build this evergreen. Now, some of these, again, could link to a blog. It could just link to an Instagram post, a YouTube video. As long as you're not saying, hey, this winter or it's 2024, like you got to make sure the content is evergreen, which means it makes sense forever in perpetuity, any time of the year, right? So that's the type of info you want in Evergreen. And then this could be a little more specific to what that person needs based on the answers you got from them on the quiz. So that's basically, yeah. So a lot of people don't do this evergreen. They do broadcast. They're like they have, 200 people on their email list and they send an email out that day to that 200 people. But guess what? People that sign up the next day, they're never going to see that email, right? So when you build it this way, you're building content that is going to live on for all the future people that come into your world.
This is genius. All
Mhm.
right. So who is this perfect for? This looks like it's a little bit more advanced than the beginner. This is for someone who's maybe wanting to scale and has a proven offer and has some ad spend, so to speak, and you can
Mhm.
really just put fuel on the fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, like again, say you don't have money for ads and you get the ads out of here, it still works with whatever direct organic traffic you get. The system still works. The ads just kind of supercharge traffic. Affiliates supercharge traffic. See, like over here, you could do Google ads, X ads, YouTube ads. What else we got? We got affiliates, right? So once you have this all together and it's converting and it's working and your product is amazing, that's another thing I should mention. Your product has to be amazing. Otherwise, good luck. Make sure your product that you're selling is awesome. But once you get everything in place, you just pump your quiz with traffic and then they go through
Do
all the
you?
automation.
Yeah. This is so. Do you use Go High Level for the quiz software or another software for quizzes? Because I know that I was trying Go High Level last year with some quizzes and it was glitching and things like this. Or is it fixed?
Yeah, their quizzes are better now. I solely use WordPress and go high level for everyone. So if you see on my site here in my portfolio, like, a lot of my clients here, 4.6 million, 2 point, it's all WordPress. These are all WordPress sites and they all use high level and we don't need any other softwares. So yeah. So definitely high level. Yeah, I do some quizzes in Elementor Form Builder, and then some quizzes with the surveys or quizzes in high level. They were buggy, but now they're pretty solid.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this. This is
Yeah,
brilliant.
my
If you're out
pleasure.
there, guys, if you're curious, if you've got an amazing offer, if you've got an amazing product, you're wanting to scale, or whether you're just looking to have a breakthrough in the area of automation and WordPress and quizzes and ads, reach out to Pat. I'll put his links around here to get in touch. Brilliant.
Yeah, thanks, my man. Yeah. Can I just mention one more really quick thing? Something huge that I totally forgot. Okay. So a lot of people don't want to just spend money on ads without a return, right? So what happens here is if you're selling the digital products and you have these cold lead ads going, you definitely want some kind of funnel on the thank you page. So for example, some of my fitness people will say, "Hey, get 90% off. This is the thank you and the one-time offer. Hey, get 90% off my beginner program. It's regularly 99, get it for $9." So after they take the quiz, they're now going to be in one of these buckets to get the emails. But on the thank you page, we hit them with all the scarcity, the countdown timer. This is a one-time offer. And then if they buy the $9 product, there's bump offers to add more programs. There's upsells. It'll say, "Hey, for 47, you can get my next 3 programs instead of $300 because they're 99 each. Save 250. Add three more programs for 47." So that $9 is turned into 9 plus 47. And then if they say no, we say, "Hey, take another $10 off, 37." Okay, fine, I'll take it. Boom. Next offer. "Hey, do you want lifetime access to my membership in the community? And you could ask questions, and you're going to get this guide and my nutrition guide and blah blah blah." So you want to try to add the cart value as big as you can, because if you're spending $100 here a day, you're hoping that this offer is going to at least make you back the $100, right? Then you could just scale ads to the moon. You're not just blasting $100 a day hoping that these emails are going to sell them one day, right? You want to try to offset the cost of your advertising with an offer on the thank you page. So that's very powerful when you bring that into the mix as well.
So I guess the quick question there is, what are the best types of quiz funnels or quiz lead magnets that you've noticed? It gives, with a quiz, I guess it's important to create a specific outcome something that they can go away with. As you said, like make it actually valuable.
Yeah.
Do you have any
So
examples?
here's an example. Yeah, this is Massey Irish. She's one of my big. She's a partner actually. She's one of my partners in the space. 3 million Instagram. We push everyone to this quiz. So it's basically just like a hey, want to train with me? Get started. So see here, home gym. How old are you? How's your lifestyle? Are you beginner? Are you advanced? We get into the body type because she has some nutrition guides about your metabolism, and if you don't know, it says, oh, which one are you? And then it lets you choose, okay, I'm this one. I'm a carnivore. I want to lose body fat. I'm a man. And then you collect their email. So don't do name email first. Always do this at the end. So this might skip because we have, hold on, let me see. Uh, quiz results. Okay, yeah, see, there's another page that has the $9 offer, but if you don't take it, it's a legit countdown timer where if you don't take the offer, it pushes you to this page, right? So this one now is 50%. It's like, oh, you missed, see, you've already taken the quiz. So it pushed them to this offer now because that's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to have a countdown timer and say this is the only time you can see this and then lie and they can still go back and get it? So you want to make sure they're true one-time offers. So if they miss that offer, they take the quiz again, they see this offer where they can go get this. And then this is where they go here. And then it's like bump offer, upsells, and they can add as many things as they want. So that's an example of it. So now, again, in our CRM, I think we have 24 paths because we do combinations of like, are you beginner? Do you want to train at home? And are you vegan? And then there's beginner, home, non-vegan. And there's beginner, gym, vegan. Then there's beginner. So everyone sees kind of a different thank you page with a different offer based on their answers. So it's very specific to them. So it's a little bit of legwork up front, but once it's all built, it's built, and there's nothing else to do.
This is absolutely genius. What do they say? They say genius is the ability to turn complicated into simple. And this looks like you've done that because this is very complicated. For someone to figure this out, it's obviously taken you decades to figure it out. So you've been able to simplify the whole thing. So thank you for sharing this, everyone at home. If you're wanting to get the structure and take your business to the next level, get in touch with Pat. Pat, thank you so much for your time today. Everyone at home, have your next breakthrough moment today. Why wait? Please comment below, like and share. Who do you know who would benefit from this information? Who do you know that would love this information to help them with their next breakthrough? We'll see you next time on the Breakthrough Moment podcast. Thanks, Pat.
Thanks so much, Zach. Appreciate it. You're the man.